last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, last time, you guys had entered the Dwarven caverns of the Doruk Mountains on your way to meet King Grom. Apparently, he has work for you, or so you've been told. You got to an inn, dicked around for like an hour and a half, and Allie stole a little clay idol.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Who has?
But you guys didn't.
What's this guy?
But you
I
guys
don't think
did
any of us
not.
know that yet.
It's the Dwarven King. You did not mess with the idol to Marfar Farm. So that was smart of you. The next day, you had traveled for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh, it's right there.
3.5 hours. And you got to that little, it's kind of like a little U between Jakob's Cross and Dorheim. And some of you heard a noise. I know Brad did. I don't remember who else.
I think Brad and Allie did, but
That's,
not here.
We're underground.
Sounds.
Right?
We are, yes.
It's all coming back to me.
Good job.
There was a map that I couldn't make heads or tails out of.
Every map in existence? Yeah.
Should have made tit or tat out of it.
Damn.
So yeah, I know as we left off, Brad had heard the noise and said, "Well, time for us to go," and started riding ahead on Senor Presidente.
Which I learned later is his horse.
So, Brad, are you keeping within sight of your party, or are you just hauling ass?
I'm going to keep within sight of them.
Oh, okay. It will be around where it turns back to going straight north then. Brad, right ahead, you will notice a man kind of slumped over against the wall. He's wearing like a big old hat, and he's very under-geared, alone.
You're roboting super hard right now.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was just me.
Same.
Like, I kept waiting for it to get better, and it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Bink bonk.
Good session, everyone. Wow.
Hello, I return. Am I better?
Probably.
Yeah.
Brian? Okay. So as you get to the turn where the road goes like straight north there, you see a man on the ground. He appears to be human. And he is kind of slumped against the wall, barely stirring. And he is very like under-equipped to be a lone traveler with just like a spear and a large book at his side, and then like just clothing and like a gold floppy hat over him.
Brad will immediately go over there. He'll cast a Cure Wounds on him and say, "Congratulations, you've entered contract with Laundry Sucks, that's a terrible name, Magni Adventuring Guild.
He
Who might
immediately,
it be that we work for now?"
as soon as the spell hits him and you start talking, he like jumps up to his feet with the spear in his hand and points it at you. And he's like, "Oh, holy shit! What the fuck? Hey, stay back! I don't have anything of value on me except for this spear. And if you try to take it, I'll fucking run you through. I swear."
It's okay. We don't want your spear.
Right, I just wanted you to pay me for the healing spell, but it appears that you cannot, so I would need it back. So if you could just stab yourself a couple of times or something, that would be great.
I could use
Wait,
a
are we-
spear.
He's still just like pointing the tip of the spear at whoever's talking at the moment.
I gave my monkey spear to Bradley.
Right, well,
We can't have this one. It's spoken for.
That doesn't
Okay.
look like a monkey spear anyhow.
Did the
don't
monkey
want
spear?
your shitty spear.
Did the spear come from a monkey, or did it look like a monkey?
Little bit of both.
Did
You
you
No,
just
it
know
like
came
that
from
I-
Landre.
He's just like staring at all of you and doesn't quite know what to do with this moment. He looks like super rough too. Like his he looks kind of emaciated. His eyes are like all black and baggy, and he's got like chapped lips, and his clothes are just all ragged and everything. And yeah, he looks pretty fucked up.
Did you know
long have
that
you
I
been
can
down
teach you
here?
to eat any poison except for nettles?
Nettles, huh?
I'm sorry.
I've never tried them.
Well, you can't eat them.
Question: how long have you been down here? You look. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one that tells you this, but you don't look that great.
Huh, let's see. And he like cautiously starts to put the spear down a little bit and bend down towards his book, and then he picks it up and starts like rattling through the pages. Well, shit. The last entry's, I'm guessing, about a week ago. I have no idea how I got here.
That really sucks.
Billy, I'm going to let you know right now that if you try to invite another person to join our group, you are out.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say he could join us. I was gonna say he could follow us. It's not the same thing.
Bradley,
Remind me, Estel, to add in that following and joining are essentially the same thing into the next contract that Billy
Nowhere
signed.
near the same thing. Those are not
Following
the
and
same
joining,
thing.
Nearly the same thing. Noted.
Thank you very much, Estel.
Of course, sir.
They're not the same thing, Eskel. Don't listen to what he says. At least in this circumstance. The rest of the time, he knows what he's talking about.
Billy, I'm beginning to think that we should have just exchanged you for Estel straight up.
You see the man like grab like a pin out of whatever pocket he had, and he like stabs it into one of his fingers that has like little bandages on the tips of it, and then takes the pen into a book, and you hear him start to narrate what he's writing. First entry in a little while. I was awoken by a group of assholes. They appear to be different than the ones I wrote about before. Still
Hey,
unsure.
you're an asshole.
Now this one is calling me an asshole. He's the loudest and one of the shortest of the group. I assume he's the leader,
Uh-oh.
but it's hard to be sure.
I'm not one of the shortest. What are you talking about?
Hey, did I just say all this or just think it? Was I
You
talking?
said it out loud.
Did they hear me?
Said it
Oh,
out
sorry,
loud.
I get like this when I write.
Okay, I get it.
No, definitely seems like something an asshole would do.
Anyways, Would any of you happen to have any water?
I have some potions. Would you
she'll
like one?
take out a jar and she'll take out 2 jars and they're both filled with something clear. And she opens up the lid of one and sniffs it and goes, "This is water." The other one goes back into her robes.
He takes it, and this whole time he's had a long pipe sticking out of his mouth, and he removes the pipe and then drinks the water. Oh, it's been a while. And you see him start to kind of lick his lips and get moisture back into these super chapped lips. Thank you.
Problem. That's if you've been down here a week, that really sucks.
I mean, I can't say for sure. I don't really remember things day to day. That's why I keep this journal. And he holds up the book. And the book looks incredibly old, like an ancient book with a wooden cover.
It's laundry.
Whose laundry?
Is that water free for guild members?
I mean, I don't have much of it, but I guess you could have a drink after he's done because he's, the most dehydrated out of all of us. There's really nothing, I mean, yeah, you can have some. Or you can drink whatever this is. I think it's formaldehyde.
He hands it straight over to laundry. He's like, I wouldn't want to drink too much too quick. I heard it makes you sick.
It's true.
I also didn't mean for that to rhyme. It kind of sounds awkward thinking back on it now.
It's also true.
Can we begin walking again, please?
Huh?
Why don't you guys roll me perception checks?
What check was that?
Perception.
Perception. Ooh. 22 for Eskel. Yeah, I'll put it.
Oh, we're all doing that?
Yeah.
Chris looking like me in my other campaign.
He other than the big floppy hat, he also has really big glasses on.
Oh God, he's so yeah. Okay, so that's big glasses, floppy hat. Yeah, Billy feels like
the
shit
Hunter
with
thing
this guy.
immediately.
What was that you said?
I was just asking Aubrey that if she didn't get the Hunter S from him immediately.
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
Oh. I thought it was a pretty spot-on impersonation.
Well, thank you.
Chris.
You're still an asshole. That's not debatable. But anyway.
By the way, I have a plastic spoon that I cut in half, and I just have the stem of it sticking out of my mouth, the cigarette holder.
Billy's here for it.
What's your character's name, Chris?
He doesn't know.
Okay. I'm just gonna call you Book then.
Like Shepherd Book.
Well, I'm going to call you asshole.
Asshole.
Well, if you wanted to know
Potion.
It does look a little bony.
Well, if you wanted to know my name, you could have just asked.
What's your name?
The first day I woke up, I found this tag on me. Then he goes and rifles through his book and goes to one of the first pages, and he pulls out a toe tag that says John Doe.
John Doe. It's nice.
Then he files it back into the book.
John Doe, it's what plants crave.
My God.
I think it's rather the opposite. More like I crave plants, if you know what I mean.
You don't look Druish.
A little bit on my father's side, but it doesn't really carry over that way.
I got nothing.
I don't even know what to say.
As you guys start to move, he starts to like, obviously follow behind, and he has like a very exaggerated walk that's kind of like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, but amplified by 10.
Right as you guys start to move out, Billy and Brad. Brad, you hear the same slight rumbling coming from back where you were coming from. Billy, you hear this low rumbling for the first time. And Eskel, you hear this slightly shrill scream before it's drowned out with this low rumble of thunder. And this all happens as John Doe and Landre are swapping water bottles.
Does this scream sound human or humanoid to me, or?
Do you hear that? Does anybody else hear that?
Humanoid, not necessarily human, but
Gotcha. I do, yes. Where is that coming from?
Seems like there's a bit of rumbling coming from behind us, which is the original reason why I was trying to pick up the pace, but we should definitely pick up the damn pace now.
Absolutely. Laundry, John Doe?
Yeah.
We're
What
gonna
time
keep
of day
moving.
is it, by the way?
That's a great
underground.
question.
It should be like mid, because if we're meeting him if we went 6 hours, it should be like what, 2 in the afternoon, 2:30.
No, it was like 3.5 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, no, because if we're at the U and then we went a little bit further than the U.
Each tile is 30 minutes.
Oh, I was thinking an hour because that would make sense.
Sorry.
And despite my short-term memory loss and stuff, I do have keen mind, so I know which direction is north and which time of day it is, even when underground.
You did wake up late today because all light is provided by these glowing crystals, and their day-night cycle gets a little weird. So it's probably around noonish.
Okay. And so I'm following along.
Okie dokie. Yeah, the main road, just following the blue crystals towards Durheim, as you were instructed by the guards, is it's a very easy one, as most of it is well traveled enough that there is actually like pretty much like a roadway built. And you also notice that as you get closer and closer to Dorheim, there's fewer of these like splitting off tunnels, and the walls seem to be more and more like smoothed out, as if by magic.
Ow!
That's not real.
Sorry, I just had to. Okay, but so you travel for a handful of hours more, and by this time the crystals are in full glow, and you're in like full visibility, and as you kind of start to see this this bright light at the end of the tunnel, you also notice like etchings start to appear in the smoothed out walls. And I mean, if any of you want to,
You cut out.
okay, disconnected for a second. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we missed whatever you said we did or whatever.
What was the last part you heard?
I don't remember.
I wasn't listening. What do you think?
Oh, all right then.
So are we being chased?
I think.
What? By what? What have we done that would warrant us being chased?
Well, hear me out. We did kind of just come into these tunnels, and if I'm correct,
Oh, wait, I didn't notice that. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, as you come towards this, the light near the end, you notice like etching on the walls.
I can still barely get you, my man.
Yeah. I'll
Yep.
change the server.
You're still really robot-y.
Let's try this one. Check, check.
Root and shoot, scoot. Root and shoot, scoot.
Are you singing Andy Griffith? Root and toot scoot. We're tootin' scoot and scoot doo 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 doo.
Root and shoot, scoot.
Did Eric die?
Go check on him, Eskel. Drive to his house.
Give me like 2 days and I'll live literally like a 2-minute walk away from him.
Okay, we can wait.
Cool.
Will your internet be better than Eric?
Probably. I'm pretty sure I have a nicer router.
So right now, are we to assume that you live 2 days and 2 minutes away from him?
What about it?
Root and shoot, scoot.
boot scoot boogie.
Out in the country, past the city limit signs.
In that moment, I envied Eric.
Why? That's a good song, man. You wish you could boot scoot boogie.
Listen, I know I can boot scoot boogie. All right, you don't have to. You don't have to ask me for. You don't have to. You don't have. I don't have to.
Yes?
I don't have to wish
Got 'em.
because I
Try.
know.
You'll get it.
That's all, folks.
I was talking to
It's
Brian.
not my fucking
but,
fault that
yeah.
I stutter.
Tit tat tuggy. I'm gonna change the server again.
Correct, we got that message, but
To Brian, not to you.
boop, boop, boop. Oh no, yeah, I was Snapchatting Eric. Well, since we're waiting, I guess I'm just gonna go get more beer.
gonna come back as soon as you leave.
Headset.
Laundry sucks. He really, really sucks.
Oh yeah.
Watterson's Opus?
Bill Watterson.
Oh, Watterson. Nice.
Just straight up doing it to me.
And too bad he doesn't have an FBI surveillance van nearby that he could get onto their Wi-Fi.
I think we could change that with a couple of phone calls.
Hey, if they're not following everybody in this group yet, I don't think they're going to.
Oh, you're an LCP fan? Name 10 of our FBI agents. We get John in here so we can play a DM-less game.
Oh yeah.
Why did I just get an email about who is the B and why is he emailing me about voting updates?
Can you forward that to me?
Yes.
Wait, did you say boating or voting?
Voting.
Hell yeah.
It's from trulybeautifulboats.com.
Oh, man. Sign me
I
up.
like big boats and I cannot lie.
I just sent it to you, and this is from my spam email account, so
Can you filter the boats by exhaust pipes?
you're gonna have to try that. Bowrider guide. Get your Bowrider buyer's guide. We found it. Discover boating. Why am I getting this?
I think that would be bow rider.
Bowrider. You know what?
He's right.
What's an HU? I don't know. Ito, Waspanko.
Eric's out in the country past the city limit signs.
He's really not. If anything, that's me right now.
As you're singing that song, I see him cruising down a country road in his ugly pink car.
Jeez, it's awful.
I didn't know that Eric had a pink car.
Oh, it's like Pepto Bismol.
Ew.
Abysmal.
the most Eric thing he could drive.
Got a
Yeah.
little agreement. Inkbox.
Yeah, it's something. I think my favorite part about it is if you open the doors, whoever painted it wasn't like didn't care enough to paint the door sills, so there's still the original paint. But yeah, that is definitely a car that does exist apparently.
Postmates, I don't give a fuck, okay? This is... I'm looking for updates from Penny Arcade. I want to know when my book is going to get here.
What book?
What?
What book?
It's a book of poetry that Jerry Holkins wrote. It's called Excalibur. I believe. It should be here within like a week or so. Yeah, they had a big like garage sale because they were trying to empty stuff out for the so I ordered some mystery t-shirts
You don't know what
and
they are.
that book. No, it's like it was like $5 for a mystery t-shirt and I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
That's like when you used to have a bag of crap.
Also ordered a poster that says birds are weird. It was designed by Mike Krahulik, so, you know. I think I might have accidentally ordered 2 of them, but I have somebody who will take the other one if I did, so.
Should say birds are wired.
It's true. That's also true. Actually, no, birds are wired, but they're not traitors, and that's the important thing right here.
Oh yeah, I figured on that cat chart that I posted earlier that Aubrey would be the one that looked like a bird.
Actually, I was at a solid like 4 today, so.
Oh really?
Was it hang on? It was either a 4 or 4 and 6 were like moods. 5 would be any other time, but in a fucking day.
Yeah, I was pretty much a 6 today. Eric's internet right now is a 3.
Apparently.
Cached. I want to.
Hey!
Hello?
Hooray!
Oh. Okay. Yeah, my internet just kicked out for fucking 20 minutes. Whatever the fuck. That was cool.
Still a little bit robot-y.
Um. Is it better?
Nope.
No. Okay.
It's that damn 5G.
We need 5G right
Making
now.
the frogs gay.
They turned the friggin' frogs gay. That was bad. I need to work on that.
Yeah.
See, what the thing is it's the interdimensional space vampires. They're trying to make a breakaway civilization. It's gonna happen in the next, 2 to 3 years. You can quote me on that.
Honestly, good for them.
That reminds me, I forgot I had all of these.
Oof, ouchie, my pee-pee.
Huddle.
It's the brown eye you gotta go after. I need to be a little bolder.
Yeah, I've like gotten so far behind on them, but I've finally did listen to the egg one today.
They're finally at season 2.
Ah! Ah! It's the brown eye you gotta go after.
If you could do it quick enough that Cyrus then followed into the Tim scream, that would be great.
And then, oof, ouchie, my pee-pee. We should go kill the Dwarven King while Eric's gone.
It's the brown eye you gotta go after. Ah! Ah!
Was that a pre-reenactment of the killing of the Dwarven King?
Oof, ouchie, my pee-pee.
You can't have a pre-reenactment.
Why can't you?
Because I need to consult with Sean real quick. I was talking to Sean about a concept I had for a story.
It's the brown eye you gotta go after. Ah! Ah! Oof, ouchie, my pee-pee.
I don't know why, but the pee-pee one's only in the left channel. In headphones. I have to fix that.
Okay, hello?
Eric!
Yeah, that sounds better.
We killed the Dwarven King, by the way.
While you were gone.
All right.
We went right for the brown eye.
Okay, well, that was a nightmare that got solved literally just through time. Fucking hell. Okay, so as you're making your way through this tunnel and you see the light at... Hello?
Hi.
Yeah.
Oof, ouchie, my pee-pee.
Okay. As you're making your way through this tunnel and you kind of start to see the bright glow of the city at the end of it, you notice etchings on the wall. And if anyone would like to investigate them further, you may.
I'd like to do that thing that you just said.
I would like to
Okay.
do it as well.
Okay.
So, do you want to just get advantage, Aubrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Oh, that's much better. That's going to be a 22.
Okay. Do you read Dwarven at all?
Do I? Maybe. Do not. I read Infernal.
That will not help you.
Okay, well, I don't read Dwarvish, so. Oh, wait, actually, I think I might have something that allows me to, though. No, I don't. I thought that my background would let me do something. Nope.
Okay. You can still gather fairly clearly that this seems to be the history of the founding of Dorheim, as well as the harvesting of what looks to be a giant rose quartz crystal. And you're at least able to identify that there are, like, dwarven runes carved underneath the pictures. But you cannot make them out.
Okay.
Every now and then there are, like, dates, though, that you can make out easily enough. So, you
I stab one. I stab one of my fingers and then start drawing several of the pictures in my book.
Okay. I thought you were just gonna say I stab one. Sure. Okay. So yeah, you guys come into the. Jesus Christ, I should word that better.
You said it, not us.
You arrive
Go
at
right for the brown
eye. All of you come out into this brilliant city, much better lit than all of the tunnels, as there's actually some sunlight, it seems like, coming through from very high up. But these are, incredibly tall mountains, and this city seems to be, like, carved out of, like, one of the larger ones. The city itself is roughly the size of the human capital of Valens. But they also have homes and shops built into the walls that surround the city, that are accessed through, some are through just ramps, some are through ladders. And it kind of slopes downwards before rising back up in the center of the city. The center of which is a large gem-encrusted building, the top of which has a like crystalline rose pattern. That's probably bigger than the capital of Magnes, sitting at the top of it.
Wow, this is a bigger city than I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's something you don't see every day. Unless you live here, then you do see it every day.
Beautiful, though. Isn't it pretty, Bradley?
Bradley is lighting up, but making no noise.
Oh, he's not even lighting up on my end.
He's not lighting up for me either.
Still not lighting up.
Let's go!
There we go.
Isn't it pretty, though?
It's a city. When you've been to one, you've seen them all. Just because there's ladders doesn't make this one impressive. Let's go.
Bradley, this is almost as big as your mansion.
It's almost as big as the cavity between your ears as well.
Thank you, Bradley.
You're welcome. Let's find the palace, idiot boy.
I think it'd probably be that big one.
That was my thought as well. And Brad's going to start heading that direction.
I thought you were just gonna go, Bradley will start heading in that direction.
Yeah, it's again, you have to go kind of down into this valley before trekking back up the hill, and the closer you get to the palace, the steeper the climb is. And as you get closer to the capital, you also notice some people are just riding like mountain goats. And obviously, the primary population is dwarves. And the dwarves you see kind of milling about don't seem to have any problem with the steepness of the mountain at all. But you do see a couple humans and halflings along the way that are like huffing and puffing and like leaning against buildings as they're making their way through this. And you get to the palace. Obviously, guards out front ask you your business.
On the way there, I'm like writing all this down in my book to be able to remember it. And at one point, I'm saying as I'm writing down, no point in mentioning these goats. Poor bastards will see them themselves soon enough.
We see the goats too.
Ah! I was doing it again, wasn't I?
A little bit, yeah.
Brad will say, "We are here to see the king. We've been sent by, we're emissaries from Magnes. Adventurers, if you will. We're here to do a job."
Sure, though. Laundry sucks. That's a terrible name. Magnes Adventuring Guild.
Not so
Thank
fast,
you,
I can
Billy.
write all that down. It sucks, Adventuring Guild of America. Alright.
Sure. Sounds right.
So the guys are like, "Oh, yes, we've heard word of your coming, of course. Right this way." And one of them will escort you to the door before a very old-looking dwarven woman with a beard down to below her knees will kind of pick you up there, and she moves very spryly. She has a long gray staff that is much too tall for her body, but she's like hobbling around with it, and it's always going at weird angles as she's walking along, and she's like, "Come along, come along."
Is her staff longer than my spear?
Oh, yes.
I like casually, and hopefully unnoticed to everybody else, I just kind of lift up my spear a little bit so that it's not like on the floor to make it look taller.
Yeah, she's leading you through. She's just like, "Can't keep the king waiting, can we? Never be too quick with your visits. Come on." And she leads you to this grand double doors, and kind of opens one of them and says, "He'll be right through there."
Brad will look at her and say, "Where should I put Senor Presidente.
she starts looking at John Doe and says, I guess you could just leave him out here. Yes, probably for the best.
Hey, this wasn't part of the deal.
Well, I was talking about my horse, but
Well, in that case, it is part of the deal. Get it out of here.
well, no, we're not going to get it out of here. We just want to stable him or something.
Oh, the horse. Well, it's probably fine. Don't worry about it.
He'll just find something to tie the reins to and then go in, I guess.
Imagining you tie it to one of the door handles.
No, he won't do something that stupid. Like, he'll find something, like, on the wall or something like that, and then put the feed bag over the horse's mouth.
Okay. And then you all enter into the...
It sure is dark down here. I'll tie it to this knot on the wall. One of the guards says.
Oof, ouchie, my pee-pee.
Okay. I guess I should mention that the Capitol building is very well lit, much like the rest of the city. It is not just the simple glow of the crystals. But heading into the throne room, the first thing that you notice is that the entire room is this large octagon, and that the throne is in the very center of it. The second thing you notice is that the floor is made out of this pinkish crystal.
Oh.
And the entire floor appears to be one uncut gem. Billy, you would probably guess it's that giant rose quartz crystal that was in the etchings that you saw earlier.
Oh, this is that. This is something that was in the etchings earlier. Beautiful.
That's what I was thinking of, Brian. Looks like one big crystal of sea salt. Interesting that you'd find it underneath a mountain like this.
I think it's rose quartz.
Which is the common name for sea salt.
I don't think that's true.
I
Why don't we have this fella lean down and lick it and see if it's true? And he points towards Landre.
Laundry, I don't think you have to do that if you don't want to.
No, I would be happy.
You should probably do it, though, Laundry. It's science.
It's the only way to be sure.
I would be happy to. You know, when I was a little boy, I used to play on a seesaw. And I'll lick
That's not...
it. Get down on all fours and I'll give it a big long lick.
Gross.
Doesn't taste like the seesaws I remember as a boy.
Is the king watching this? Eric? Oh, did we lose Eric again?
I think we did.
No.
The king right now. What the fuck?
This is going to be a very useful gift later in the campaign. The next monster we fight.
Oh,
Okay.
yay!
Yikes, dude.
Constantly.
Yeah, like it was just saying that I was connected, but there was no internet available. So that was cool.
Which feels so connected.
Yeah. So I got Landre leaned down to lick the crystal.
And then John said something.
Yeah, I wanted to, I just looked over to see what the king's reaction was.
The king.
Kicks us out. Guard sees them.
Just keep licking.
What are you doing?
He reaches in and pulls out his Shrek flashlight.
He says,
I don't-
How many licks does it take to get to the center?
1, 2, 3.
Crunch.
Yep.
The king is sitting on this very large throne, and as he stands up, you kind of have to like check your vision at first, because he is very clearly a dwarf, but he is also massive, standing around 5 feet tall and just about as wide, and holding a golden axe that could holding a golden axe that looks like it could easily cut a horse in two without problems.
Classic Grom.
Yeah. King Grun sees Landre like bowing down, and at first is like, "Oh, that's not necessary, lad." And then he sees him like licking the ground and says, "All right, I've heard of, kissing the ground that I walk on, but this is a bit much. Stand up, lad. What's wrong with you?"
By this time, I'm gonna be like kind of crawling my tongue across the floor.
Well, you see, what the fuck was that? Well, one of the things that you must know about us, who you have hired, we are Laundry Sucks. That's a terrible name, Magni Adventuring Guild. As you can see, this is Laundry, and he sucks.
Thank you, Barbie.
Laundry, you
I
can get
always
up.
had your back, Laundry. What
Billy
does it
will.
taste like?
Doesn't taste like any poison I've ever tried.
Laundry,
I'm
you
not
can get
sure
up.
what that's supposed to mean.
Skull says, "How about this?" and just shoves a potion in his mouth.
Oh,
I swallow it.
It's a telltale sign of salt. Salt doesn't taste like poison, therefore the floor is salt.
promise it's not salt.
I've never had not salt.
Billy just puts her face in her hands.
What does the potion do to me?
Let's go roll me a high or low.
Let's go high.
Okay.
Let's get high.
Laundry, your skin begins to glow, as if the light spell was cast on you. However, you also lose 2 intelligence points while the potion is active. And, you feel drunk.
Good heavens. Licking the floor makes you light up.
Oh no.
Skull writes all this down in a notebook.
Right, wow.
When I see Landre's reaction, I start writing into the book and narrating myself. Note to self: come back here later and lick the floor.
You're an odd lot, but I suppose that could be good. People try not to pay attention to the weirdos in the room. And I do have a bit of a... it's alright, lass. Got a bit of a undercover mission for you, I suppose.
Undercover?
Don't worry, we're very good at discreet.
No, we're not, but we'll try anyway.
Bradley.
Oh,
You see it, he says your name and you don't respond to him. You never have to hear what he is going to say after. It's great.
Anyway, at the very least, I highly doubt you lot will be tied to the crown. That's really the most important thing.
Okay.
We've been having some troubling reports from some of our mining towns. Some of the some of the digs seem to be changing. They're always well mapped out, but yes, it seems the tunnels are changing shape or size. Tools going missing, and various other goings on.
So what? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
So what do you expect us to go? What do you want us to go undercover as?
Well,
Dwarves?
luckily, I don't think a single one of you could pass for a dwarf.
Yeah, you're probably right.
No, luckily for you, there's a town to the northwest. Their mines are also open for any treasure hunters who want to go out there. So I want you to pose as treasure hunters, going through the mines and see if you can find anything suspicious.
Okay.
What's the pay look like for a job like this?
Well, if you can actually discover what's going on, I could say 250 gold each.
Billy will lean over to Laundry and go, "Is that a good price?"
I don't know. I don't have any gold, so it'll be better than 0. I'm gonna I'm gonna stagger over to the king guy and say, I'm gonna get way too close to him and say, but if you could pay us an electrum.
Laundry, be quiet. Sir, I humbly request that we make it a lump sum of 1,500 gold pieces that I will then distribute to my team as the various contracts suggest.
I'm gonna put my arm around him and start just patting him on the shoulder.
Can I negotiate separately from them? See, I got something else in mind. How about if we do this, or if I do this, I get one of those fancy goats.
First of all, Laundry, roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Four.
All right. That beats the DC of 1 somehow. As you start to put your arm around the king, the axe comes off of his shoulder and rests like squarely on your shoulder. And he just kind of like slowly shakes his head at you. And then pushes you back with it. And then he'll turn to John Doe and say, one of the goats. I suppose what would that be? 1250 and the goat then.
Actually, better make it 2 goats, just to be sure.
Well, I mean, you could buy more than that with your share, but fine. 1250 and 2 goats.
Well, how about the equivalent amount of goats for the amount of share? It's the goats that are really important here.
How about some electrum?
By the way, every time that
drinks.
every time that John Doe talks, he's constantly like swaying back and forth. With one hand just kind of looming in the air, like, you know, with not sure like how to like hold himself or anything.
Here's what we'll do, Kingy. I'll pat him on the chest.
Oh, that's a power move right there.
If you can give us free drinks for Magnes Adventure Guild members,
Oh boy.
we'll drink.
Brian, what's your AC?
20.
Oh, he's dead.
20?
Chopped in
Okay.
half.
Not quite, because I rolled like dirt for him. But as you go to pat him on the chest, the axe clangs against your breastplate, and there's also a crossbow bolt fired into your back.
I'll smile and say,
The crossbow bolt will do 7 damage.
okay. I feel because of the distraction of the axe in my drunken state, I don't think I'm gonna notice the crossbow bolt. And I'll say, there are other places we can get drinks.
Jesus, man, you were just shot in the back. Also a power move, I might add. And I point to the king and like smile.
He looks at you and says, if you try and touch me again, you won't have that arm anymore.
Billy will gently like go over and take Laundry's arm and like kind of pull him away.
Billy, take Laundry outside. He's on timeout.
Okay, come on, Laundry. She'll turn around and she'll like noting she's feeling very good that she hasn't like fucked up yet. So
She's gonna what?
I said, so she goes and touches the king?
No, she's gonna drop like a short. She's gonna like bow awkwardly, deeply, and go, "Thank you, Your Majesty," and then turn and take laundry out. Take out the laundry.
Yeah, heyo. It'll be difficult to get him to walk in a straight line, but
It's okay. She can handle
Brad
it.
will turn back to the king and he'll bow and say, "My sincerest apologies. Laundry does suck after all, and it's not really his fault. We get severe tax breaks for having mentally challenged people on the party."
Oh my god.
If you're lucky I'm in a good mood, or he'd be physically handicapped as well.
Well, he's also physically handicapped, so you would just be adding to that. But that's beside the point. Is there a person that I must meet with to sign a contract, or are we just doing verbals here?
Jesus. Yes, right out front. They'll have you sign to make sure, and I don't care. You can all take a goat. Maybe it'll help you get there faster. Just solve this issue, please, for the love of more.
My liege, I promise you that as inept as we may seem in social situations, we are very good at murdering whatever problem arises. And I'm assuming there's probably a terrible monster that I must spill its blood. And we'll do that. Good day. And Brad will bow and swish his cape and leave.
So one more thing,
kind
Your
of
Majesty.
nervously wave goodbye.
What?
So, on the way here, we noticed in the tunnels there were certain sections that were smoothed, if by magic. Is that, a symptom of what we should be looking for?
No, that's simply druids smoothing out the road most traveled to and from Dolheim.
Oh, okay. Is there a certain sign we should be looking for to know if we're close to this, thing?
Have you been in a mine before?
He starts looking through his book. Some pages are blank here, but, I think, maybe? And he kind of, like, gives this odd, like, it's like a nod and a shaking of the head at the same time. Meanwhile, like, one eye is going big and one eye is squinting as he leans in towards the king.
Well, look for anything that doesn't look like it belongs in a mine.
Okay, well, yes. First thing I notice, the goats. We'll start there. Thank you, King.
Yeah.
And I like walk out and leave, and you know, just kind of like stumble around, like meandering zigzaggedly towards the exit.
Okay.
I go up to one of the
Yeah.
men with. I go up to one of the men with the crossbows, like right before I leave the door, though, and I'm like, "Nice shot, my man."
He just looks
So as
at
I'm-
you.
As I'm finishing up signing the contract, Brad's going to say, "Is there any place that we can trade and buy weapons of various types?"
The hobbled old woman will come over and be like, "Oh yes, there
I
are
love her.
plenty of blacksmiths.
Love her.
Plenty of blacksmiths around. My recommendation would be Brunson's. He's a forge cleric, you see."
All right, well, here's what we're going to do. Billy, you and Laundry, you are going to redeem yourself today. You
What
are
did I
Laundry's keeper for the day.
Okay.
What do you mean, what did you do, Billy?
What did I do.
You know what you did.
No, I don't. I truly, truly don't, Bradley.
Disobeying orders, inviting party members.
I didn't
These things!
invite.
These are
Fine.
strikes, Billy!
Fine.
Bradley.
But we will wipe your slate clean if you can keep this lovable idiot under control.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Bradley.
What laundry? What do you want?
Are strikes free for guild members?
Swear to God.
You know what is definitely free for guild members? These fucking hands, laundry, and you're about to catch them.
I'll take 2, please.
These fucking hands. No.
Brad is going to swish his cape and storm off with the lady to go find the blacksmith.
I immediately go to try to collect the goats that were promised for us to go on this mission.
Okay. The old lady will only lead you as far as the gate, but she will recruit one of the guards to lead you to the blacksmith, Bradley. Another one of the guards leads you to a kind of stable, John Doe, and is like, how many goats did you need?
He said we could take as many as we like. Let's see, there's... How many of us are there? Like 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Okay, so, there's... And he kind of counts on his hands. I'm gonna say we need 10 goats.
Sure, no problem.
And have them ready for immediate disembarkment.
All right. Do you need rations with that?
Of course we need rations. Rations for the goats, too. We don't want them to get all, skimpery.
Of course, sir. And he'll run off, and after a short time, bring you 10 goats with saddlebags and saddles.
Alright. And I'll just kind of, like, wait in the common area for everybody else to kind of regroup.
Okay. Esco, what are you up to now that you've left the king?
I'm gonna look for like an apothecary or anything that would have various alchemical ingredients.
Okie dokie. Do you ask about that, or do you just search around the town?
I keep to myself, so I'd probably just search about the town.
Okie dokie. Then Billy and Laundry.
Okay.
Okay.
So, how wasted is Laundry right now? Is he like fucked up, or is he just tipsy? This is important.
He's definitely not just tipsy. But I would say, like, he is comfortably drunk.
Okay, so Billy will sort of take Laundry's arm as best as she is able, and she will go, let's find like a tavern or something where you can sober up, or somewhere to sit.
All right.
Even though I do need to pick up a couple of spell components, so we'll do that after you're a little bit more capable of walking.
I've never tried spell components.
It's things that I use to do spells with.
Oh, lady things.
Oh no. No. Like you know how I make my owl sometimes?
No.
She'll point to the owl that is still sitting on top of her hat. She'll go, him?
Hmm.
I make him with a magic ritual, and I need things to do that with.
Lady.
He's just gonna kind of mindlessly follow you around, staring into space.
Okay. She'd like to find somewhere where she could buy things like, incense and. Does that need? Just like where she anywhere she can buy like standard spell components, so like wire and incense, herbs, things like that.
Okay. And do you inquire about this, or do you just go hunting for it once Laundry is sober?
I'll inquire about it.
Okay. There are several spell shops around. One of them is located very close to the guild hall, which will kind of be on the north end of town. So, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be kind of to the north of the Capitol building.
Okay.
Yes. So that is where they will be. Yeah, if it's just simple shopping, feel free to just pick it up before next time.
Okay.
Costs will just be if they're in the PHB.
All
They
right.
are otherwise if you're buying like a lot of something, let me know, I guess.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Brad, are you doing any special shopping?
You fucking know it. Brad's always looking for something special.
Okay.
Familiar's a snake, and it's just a toddler leash.
Does anyone need to get going? It is kind of late.
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Cool. So, Eskel, you will be walking around. You'll be kind of like meandering around town, finding spell components, or not spell, finding ingredients and kind of comparing prices and whatnot, seeing what you need. Brad, as you get led to Prince's,
Mm-hmm.
The guard will kind of bring you up to the door and be like, will you be needing assistance after this, sir? Shall I just return to the castle?
I should be fine, thank you.
Righto then. And he'll start jogging back to the capital. Prince's
Is it a pretty impressive looking business?
It is interesting in that other ones are fairly simple. This one has lots of decorative crystals coming out of it and looks as if it was just like grown out of the ground.
So he's mad. Perfect.
It's a little tacky looking, to say the least.
I feel like Brad's a little tacky, so he'll probably love it.
Fair. Yeah, when you walk in, the dwarf that greets you has half of an afro, basically, with the other half singed down to stubble, and a
I feel
really
like you could have
bushy
just said a half row.
I suppose. And like a really bushy mustache, but no beard. And as you go in, he goes, "Welcome to Brunson's. How can I help you?"
Well, there's, I don't know, I guess. I'm always in the market for weapons of repute, if you understand what I'm saying. The things that the normal buyers are not looking for. But I am an adventurer, you see, and so anything that you would have that would be special, I guess.
Most of what I make is special. Tell me, are you looking for you or someone else?
It depends on what you have. I would always be interested in a new blade, but if there's something that would make one of my party members more useful, well, it is my job as their leader to outfit them.
All right, let me see what I got. And he starts he walks over to several, they look like water barrels, but they're stuffed full of weapons. And he pulls out a few of them before he comes back to you and he goes, "All right, well, for you, you're a bit of a thinner lad. Thought maybe you could use this whip. Very special whip. It'll entangle your enemies when you hit them and break off into new little lashes of their own. Very handy, very handy." Also thought maybe this dagger, maybe you're more of a sneaky sort. Got that look about you, don't you? Maybe you could stand to go invisible every now and then, eh? Could help.
Now you're speaking my language.
I'm sorry, did I slip off into Dwarven? Happens sometimes when I'm excited.
No, but I also do speak Dwarven.
Oh, good. Shouldn't get too confused then.
Right.
And he's just piling these things in your arms too, as he's loading them off. He's like, if you got a bigger man in your party, perhaps this hammer could always help. It can either knock people back or draw people in. Either way, kind of good, kind of bad, kind of good. No, it's definitely good. Yes, good hammer. And he throws that on top of you and he says, perhaps there's a special lady in your party you got your eye on? Listen, will maybe make her a bit more clear with her words. As it were, maybe you weren't catching the message before. You don't look the most perceptive lot, and he claps you on the chin a bit as he throws a short sword on top of this pile in your arms and says, I think that's kind of the broadest range. If you have any other ideas, let me know.
I'll take the dagger, definitely. Yes, I'll take the dagger.
Okay. Yeah,
what I will
pull that off the pile and throw it on the counter.
How much would you like for it?
Dagger. Makes you invisible. Twice per day. Tell you what, I like your style, kid. You got that panache. I'll say 150 gold.
Brad will pull out his last gem. It's the red one. And he'll put it on the counter and say, how about this in 75?
He looks it over for a few moments and
Just
says,
so you remember, you told me it was worth 50. He is a dwarf, so he might know that I'm trying to get him.
After looking it over for a few seconds, he'll say, "Actually, yes, you'd think gems would be a little easier to come by around here, but ones that can store spells in them, always more difficult. I think I might be able to cram one in this. Or it will explode. Either way, can be useful, right?" Yes, I think that can be arranged.
Excellent. Do I have to attune to this dagger or not?
No.
Dope.
But he will say, no, that, I mean, I didn't mean to typecast you at all, but that short sword could be used by a man as well, if that's more your fancy.
No, I think that this is perfect, actually. Thank you.
Oh, righto. He looks a little dejected as he takes the rest of the weapons back.
Why did I just listen to Bradley chuffed an experience of microaggression? I didn't mean to. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Well, if you need anything else, or you got any friends, be sure to send them back here. Yeah.
We'll be coming back after we're done with our mission. You have my word.
Glad to hear it, sir.
And Brad will say, "Where laundry sucks. That's a terrible name. Magnes Adventuring Guild of America. You'll be hearing from us." And he'll walk out.
You see him, like, scribbling something on a piece of paper, and then he crosses it all out and just throws it into the forge. Like, he got halfway through, and he's just... Did you guys agree to meet up anywhere, or are you just...
Yeah, we had a rendezvous point back at the, or at the gate, I thought.
Like town center or whatever is where I took the goats.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna
the
go
town
and meet
center
up with
is...
Goat Boy.
The town center is the, kind of just the large area around the castle as well, so...
Alright. As they start, like, filtering back in, I'm, like, writing in my book, today I had a personal correspondence with the King of the Dwarves. Turns out he was the biggest asshole of them all. He had a golden axe that could easily split a horse in twain. And, without second thought, he would shoot a giant man boy in the back. But he's a good source on getting goats, which could serve a great purpose going forward.
You also notice that there's not like any grass around the city center, but your goats do start munching on some of the rocks around, whether it's like curbs or just some of the little glowing crystals. They don't seem too picky, as goats do.
Ah, yes, eat up, my boys, eat up. We've got a long ride ahead.
So it'll be about 2 hours for you guys. In that time, Eskel will show up a little over an hour later. An hour after Bradley, that is. And Landre and Billy will show up about an hour after that. Landre now seeming to be sobering up. And not glowing anymore.
Once everyone gets back, I'll get on Senor Presidente and say, well, is everyone ready?
Billy is tucking the spell components that she got into like various places in her robes, and she'll like lift up her hat and put something underneath of it, and just getting herself situated.
It would appear you did a good job watching laundry today, Billy. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
You were watching me.
Technically, yeah.
What was I
Did
doing?
it pretty- You were drunk. Or you were like drunk. Eskel gave you a potion, and you were kind of wasted.
Turns out you can't beat that poison either, can you, Laundry?
Eskel makes a note of how long it's taken Laundry to sober up.
Eskel.
Yes.
I told you that I couldn't have nettles.
I don't believe there were any nettles in there.
What was in there?
Well, some of that dust that you got, well, I made it dust. Some of that rock that you got for me and other assorted goodies, but certainly not nettles. I don't have any. I only deal with that sort of thing on request.
Rocks, you say?
Yes. Remember when I asked you to take your hammer and break off a big chunk of rock, and then you asked me which one, and I said, take your pick. And then you took your pick, and then I ground it up into little powder and made it into a potion while I was drunk. Isn't that ironic?
Say, you wouldn't happen to have any more of this rock, would you?
It's powdered.
I'll take whatever you have. You can have this goat.
Was I not getting one in the first place?
Yeah, but you get a second one now.
It can carry my shit. Fair enough, and I toss him a very, very light, like, just dusting of powder in a bag.
Oh, yes. We live in a goat-based economy now. And I make a line of that powder and snort it right off my hand.
Roll a con save.
Eskel's also going to make a note of whatever happens here.
That is a 15.
You start sneezing.
Ugh. Oh well, I'm sure we'll kick in at some point. Hopefully I'll get as lit as our big friend over here.
John, are any of these goats milkable?
If it's got only one teat, no. If it's got more, yes.
Gross.
Big fucking yes.
Jesus Christ.
So do we start like actually like moving and stuff at this point?
I mean, yeah, I assume you guys are heading out.
Oh, okay. Once we're like kind of out of the populace of town, I sort of like ride my goat up right next to Brad. So if you haven't noticed, we've already got the goods. I don't think we even need to do the mission. We've got everything of
I'm
value.
very interested in the gold, John Doe.
In the gold, you say? You think we can get more goats with this gold?
Well, you've already negotiated your cut, which is these goats, so I could possibly do that. I'm not going to, but yes, theoretically.
So you're saying we corner the market, become, say, a monopoly of goats. Anybody that wants a goat in the next 7 kingdoms would have to come through us. We could charge a higher price. I like how you think.
Which is why we have to complete the mission, John Doe.
Yes. Complete the mission. Got it. And he winks at you.
Oh, you're already familiar with the wink wonk. Excellent.
He just smiles and looks up ahead, and does he start to glow at all?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Then he sneezes. True.
Okay. And with you guys making your way to the... Does anyone remember the direction?
Northwest.
Hey, okay. As you guys make your way towards Barston, then, we will call it for the night.
God bless you.
Pick up.
Sounds good.
Pick up there next week. And
Hopefully I
if
get
any
to
luck,
play next week.
hopefully I get to DM next week and not just DC for 40 minutes. Jesus.
Call Spectrum. Carrying out on him.
Oh, I'm going to.
Good.
This happened last
Anywho,
week when I was playing Starfinder with Dom, too. Wink. Wonk.
Have a good night, guys. I'm tired as shit.
Night.
Alright, later, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Night,
I'm gonna
everyone.
jump off too. Good night, everyone.
Night.